Hi, my name is Robert Chelle with Chelle Law, and I'm an attorney that assists veterinary associates with employment contract and independent contractor agreement issues. Today I'm going to talk about something that's a little obscure, but I have been asked by some veterinary associates to explain this, and that is, what is tail insurance? So, when you have malpractice insurance as a veterinary associate, there are two types of insurance that can be used. One is called claims made, and the other is called occurrence. Now, the vast majority of veterinary associates have malpractice insurance through the AVMA PLIT, and the type of insurance that they offer is occurrence. And so, what is occurrence malpractice insurance? Well, it simply means a policy has to be in effect when the malpractice incident occurs, and therefore you are covered indefinitely. There's no need for any additional insurance. If something happens while the policy is in place, you are covered. That's occurrence insurance. Now, the other type of insurance is called claims made. And claims made means a policy has to be in effect when the claim is actually made. So it's theoretically possible that you would leave the employer, your claims made policy would end, and then there's going to be a gap in between, the last animal that you saw and then the last day that somebody can sue you. Now, the statute of limitations for a malpractice claim for an animal is generally a little different than that for a human. In most states, for a human, it's a 2-year malpractice window where they would have to sue, and it's less in some states, but it is kind of a state-by-state thing for veterinary malpractice. So if you have a claims made policy and you have this gap, you need another policy that covers the gap in between when you leave the employer and then the last day somebody can sue you, and that's called tail insurance. Now, tail insurance cost is generally 2 times what your annual premium is. So just taking the AVMA PLIT as an example, small animal, general vet, generally around, I think it's right now, it's like $370 a year. So you would double that, and then that would be your cost for your tail coverage. Now, to be clear, generally the only time where you would need tail insurance as a veterinary associate would be if you were with maybe a corporate-owned clinic who uses claims-made insurance because it's a little bit cheaper. It's about 1/3 less expensive than occurrence per year. And then they would put the onus on the veterinary associate to cover the tail. It's extremely rare that a veterinary associate would have a claims-made policy, or 2, they would have to cover their own tail. It's just not, in other industries, it's extremely common. In the veterinary industry, it is not. But a few questions you need to ask when you're looking at your contract. If it says that they cover your malpractice insurance, many times they won't be specific about what type of policy it is or who is responsible for tail insurance. So you need to ask, 1, who's the insurance carrier? 2, what type of policy is used? And then 3, if it is a claims-made policy, who is responsible to pay for tail insurance? Now, the nice thing about being a veterinarian is the malpractice insurance is much less than almost any other industry. Yeah, but it still is a cost that you want to be aware of and make certain that you are hopefully not having to pay. All right, well, that's a little primer on tail insurance for a veterinary associate. If you have any questions about an employment contract, independent contractor agreement, your malpractice insurance, feel free to contact my law firm. Our information is listed below in the description, and I appreciate you watching the video. All right, take care. Thanks.